I've had the Andreoni Bar for almost 4 weeks now, and I'm trying to see if all the hype about this being deemed to be the replace my Nautilus pullover machine attachment. And the second thing I wanted to know is how versatile it really is. Stay tuned to see what I found out. So before we even begin, two of the most known OGs in the home gym community, HGHR, Home Gym Hacks Reviews, and Shredded Dad has actually released a video prior to this one. And of course, it's a little bit more of a pressure doing this after those two guys. But what I can suggest is actually do check their videos first before checking on this one. I do have something else to bring to the table. I can show that on this two-part video. That's right. This will be a two-part video release. One is mainly for the review, and the second one is for the hacks. I found something that makes this machine versatile, easier to use, and of course gives you more value. So there, I said it. I like this bar. Prior to using this one, I actually have two functional bar attachment from my previous functional trainers. You have here the straight arm bar or the straight bar, and of course the bicep bar, but they did a lot. I think I use this more than this, but when the AB bar, the Andreoni bar came in, I find I don't use this anymore. So I'm just keeping it in reserve for now. So let's talk about the spec. The first thing that you will notice with this bar is the similarity to an open trap bar, which I think right now on the market you have Kensui actually having similar to this, but of course it takes Olympic plates, and that is not an attachment. Speaking of weight, this is about 19 pounds, so closer to 20, I think. And it takes a little bit of muscle attaching this through the functional trainer hooks here. So that's going to be one of my comment about it. For the ergonomics, you have here, I guess they said you have a wide, a neutral, and then a close grip. But I think you have a super wide here if you think about it. Dual pivot point, the swivel. And that allows it to have this 360-degree motion. Overall diameter of this bar is about 25 millimeters. Again, Andreoni or Sabatino Andreoni, he was kind enough to include these attachments here that you can utilize if you feel like it's too narrow for you. And another attachment that I thought was intentionally made for a tricep rope machine was actually these two yellow handles here. I've been using it neutral grip most of the time, and I actually intend to use it more often with this bar because sometimes the edge of my thumb or the edge of my palm here would actually cause some tension, and that extra millimeter of rubber actually eases the tension and gives more comfort. First thing that happened a few weeks ago when this actually got launched into space was actually Anthony from HGHR doing the famous Nautilus clip. And I think that actually just hyped everything, which over time I found there's like more than four variations of that pullover. So on my second video, I will show you all those variations that I found. Did I say four? Maybe more than, I don't know. We'll see. Now, as for my setup for the lat pullover, instead of gripping the handles normally for a pullover, which can actually feel unstable on cables, try this variation I've been running. Sit facing away from your functional trainer, load your forearms directly into the top of the frame of the bar, and then just drive down. Bypassing the forearms and the hands completely would actually isolate your lats more. And honestly, this is the closest thing to a machine without sacrificing 15 square foot of space and thousands of dollars. Cheapest you can get for a lat pullover right now, honestly, is about 1800, I guess. but you would sacrifice a lot of space on that one. So I think this has a good value over that one. So it's not perfect, and one of the weakness that I found with this one is the ease of removing this bar, because you are using these clips and it would take a little bit of a muscle to take it off. However, on my next video, I found a solution for that one. So watch out for it. Next thing, again, it's that instability. It's a double-edged sword. I think it is a positive. For some, it will be a negative. Pressing movements, you would have that wobble. If you'd like to eliminate that mechanism, then just stick to the D handles. Price has gone up on this one, but does it warrant it? Yes. For over $200, I think this replaces a lot of clutter in the gym. It saves you space, and of course, it does one of the most sought out exercise in bodybuilding. So with that, I conclude with this one. If you are doing heavy compound barbell exercises, you like free weights, and you are limited on budget, this is a luxury that you don't need. However, if you have a functional trainer and you're trying to maximize hypertrophy, I think this thing would replace a lot of machine. The pressing movements, the pulling movements, that sought out exercise, the pullover, some leg exercises, it's a win in my book. To Sabatino Andreoni, this is one heck of an attachment that you have here. The biomechanical advantage, your personal touch, and the way you have launched this in the market. Congratulations, sir. Thank you guys. Ben's Home Gym is starting to pick up traction. I see there's more engagement in the channel. And as mentioned earlier, I will be launching the second episode of the Andreoni hack within the next few days. And hopefully I get to see you there. Like, subscribe, comment, and here's a little question for you. What does the lat pullover do in your overall physique? If you are on stage, what does lat pullover do to that appearance? I hope to hear your answers on the comments, and I will see you on the next review.